So now I'm going to talk about bladder cancer. So when my husband was diagnosed, January 2017, he had biopsies done, and then he had to, they said, then he had what's called, oh gosh, I can't think of what it's called. BNC, BNG, something like that. I'm sorry, I can't think of it right now. But where they stick a long needle in the head of his penis to administer some medicine straight to his bladder. It's almost like chemo for the bladder. And so he had to do that. And I want to say he had like 10 to 15 treatments of that. So we would go every week. He would get that. He would have to lay down once we came home for like an hour or two and, hoping that that would work. And at the end of I think it was 8 weeks, at the end of the 8 weeks, he, when we went back for the biopsy, the cancer had gotten worse. And so we went to, they said he had to take his bladder out. They had to remove it. So we had to figure that out because you could get almost like a biotic bladder where you almost like push your stomach in you feel yourself having to urinate, so you have to push your stomach in to make it come out, or you got a bag, and it was one other thing, but we chose the bag because we were worried about infection and stuff. If you can't get all the urine out, then you get an infection, so we were worried about that. So I said, no, we're not going to do that. And so we talked about it, and he was like, no, we'll do the bag. Well, you kind of not really understand what all that stuff entails because you've never done it before, right? And so they go in, and at first he was like, no, I'll just wait. And so the doctor, when they went in, one of the PAs said, I understand, that you want to wait and all that. She said, but your bladder is riddled with cancer. And when we did see the picture, it was. And so they go in, they take the bladder out, like 5-6 hour surgery, excruciating pain for the recovery, for him. Might not be for everybody, but for him it was. And so to come out, and now you have to learn how to put the bag on, the care for the bag, it's called a stoma, stoma. So you go in and you have to take care of the stoma. So what it looks like is they create like like this big. It looks like a little bitty pink penis. I mean, like pink. And so his did. I've seen different sizes and stuff, but his did. And so you put it on the bag, and if you don't put the bag on right, it leaks. We went through that where it just started leaking, and when stuff like that happens, he would get frustrated, and be upset, and he just hated that thing. He hated it. And I tried to, make light of it and try to get him to not feel so frustrated and angry with it, but you learn to accept it, you learn to deal with it. But we were very open, so people would come over, he would show them, and we just it was a very open process for us with all of our friends and family. And so he, just kind of accepted it. And then we went to the doctor, and they said, oh, good, he looks clear and everything's great. And we had a 3-month breather. But when that thing came back, whew, it came back with a vengeance. With a complete vengeance. It was terrible. So, I'm just going through the process of reliving all of this and what could I have done, and you know, you go through, is there anything we could have done differently? I mean, it's a lot of stuff that goes on in your head when you're grieving. And so, just trying to get through it all. See you later. Talk to y'all tomorrow, maybe.